KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus. Cars Plus Finish Line Express is now open at Cars Plus in Mighty. The state-of-the-art car wash is now open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime, SWAT officers and other government of Guam officials start the day relocating those at the Dedado homeless encampment.
Slow and steady wins the race. The tourism industry well on the road to recovery as Tuman sees an increase in visitor arrivals. I'm Matsuki Hariyama with the story.
When will students be put first? That's a question some parents are asking after the Public School System's Board of Education fails to meet a quorum over some disagreements. I'm Tomas Manglonia speaking with those members about the road ahead.
Hafidades and buenas noches. Bienvenido para KUAM News Primetime. Guahusinik Delgado.
Zaguahusi Destiny Cruz. Sisos maasi puri manyanyo mizu guini na programa. The more than half a dozen homeless people who were living in multiple encampments set up near the Micronesia Mall intersection have moved out. 3 were able to be placed in a temporary shelter, while others returned to stay with their relatives.
It's all part of the government of Guam's homeless relocation initiative led by the Guam Attorney General. Today, KUAM was there as each agency, including SWAT officers, stormed the property. Operation Relocate the Homeless. This is an interview with KUAM and Attorney General Douglas Moylan early Thursday. We were asking about the initiative as the 5-day notice has since expired for those living in the Dedado encampment.
But I think for all involved, we have to keep the date and time confidential. It is these encampments, and this encampment in particular has been in the reports seen as having drug use and weapons in there. The community will see the results hopefully very soon.
And soon was just minutes later. KUAM is first at the site near the Micronesia Mall intersection. While speaking to a couple of the people packing up, we see Dedado Mayor Melissa Savares and her team arrive.
You guys are still sorting things out? Yeah, okay, so I have all your paperwork, your verifications. Public Health is there, so they can help you. Where's the bus? There's no bus at King?
A woman who once lived here returned to help her relatives move out.
Bring it out so that because this needs to get clear. Let her bring it out. Yeah.
Savares giving them promising news.
We have a place. There are different agencies that are there that are going to help you.
A large amount of GovGuam officials, including Office of Homelessness Assistance and Poverty Prevention, Department of Public Works, and Guam Police Department responding. SWAT officers quickly stormed the property to clear it out. We follow close behind.
You're gonna have to give us some space. You can follow it, just in case.
Officers armed and in full gear as they head into the jungled area and keep watch of their surroundings.
Hey, sir, that's until we make sure it's safer. Just from it.
The officer instructs us to keep a distance until they search those living here. A closer look beyond the trees, we see more than a handful of people slowly being brought out. Officers searching each of them and letting them know they need to go today.
Yeah, there's one more guy. Yeah, but I'm not there.
We take a look inside at the setup once everybody is brought out of the jungle. Police letting the mayor and others know they still need to secure the area.
Just wait over
we'll
there.
get you guys out here.
Just wait over there.
Okay? Even you, mayor, for your own safety, okay? Because I already found...
Right, take him, let him know the stuff are over there.
Yeah.
We'll help him.
And this officer letting me know why they had to keep watch for everyone there.
Just for your info and safety, we already found knives on these people, so try not to get too close for your own safety.
We again speak with the Dedado mayor.
Wow, seeing the cops mobilize like that and seeing all the resources that are coming out here for an effort like this, people might be torn about what they're seeing. What can you say to that?
This is really, I'm concerned that emotionally Some of these people might feel that they're being picked on, but I really want to just assure that we're here for their safety, and we're going to make sure that that whatever their services that can be, they can afford to take advantage of it.
By midday, much of the items were bagged and labeled, government-owned truck beds, excavators, and more, ready to clean up the private property. It's just the start of more to come to address the island's homeless problem. As for those who once called this area home, the mayor says 3 were placed into a temporary homeless shelter. They will get additional assistance to help them get back on their feet. The rest of them went to stay with relatives.
In court news, convicted killer Brandon Michael Acosta back in Superior Court. He's spending life in prison for the 2018 rape and murder of 15-year-old Tamika Nalta.
Acosta is still fighting to have the murder conviction and life sentence overturned, even after losing his appeal. One thing the justices in the Supreme Court of Guam did want the lower court to address was the rape conviction and fines. Jason Salas has more from the judiciary.
Brandon Michael Acosta held a straight face as the family of the 15-year-old girl he raped and murdered watched from inside Superior Court Judge Vernon Perez's courtroom.
As the court can see, the primary initial determinations, in particular, the aggravated murder and the sentence that went with it, again, the life without parole portion of the judgment or the sentence, that's not likely to change because those were affirmed by the Supreme Court.
In 2018, Tamika Nalta was found brutally murdered inside her Dedido home on Chalancotda. Acosta, who a jury convicted in the killing, fought the case in the Supreme Court of Guam.
Our family is relieved, knowing that he's not going to come out.
That's Tamika's aunt, Rosemarie Greisinger, following today's hearing.
Because he is a danger to society.
Last December, justices ruled the lower court failed to conduct an included offense analysis after defense argued against the rape charge. Defense stated the victim was not alive at the time, adding that the apparent confession Acosta made to police about the murder should have never been allowed as evidence at trial. Acosta told investigators he was high on meth at the time.
He can appeal whatever he wants, but as long as he doesn't get out, stick with that life without parole. That's what we want.
That's justice for Tamika.
Yes. It's not really justice because when you lose somebody that you love so much, that's not justice, really. Only God has justice. Only God can do that for us, to ease our pain.
Her spirit unbroken as she thanks the courts for keeping Acosta locked up.
Every day we cry because when we're at the farm, it's just like, wish she was here.
The court today appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent Acosta. The parties will determine what to do next during a hearing in April. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jason Salas.
Well, the trial is delayed for the 2 brothers accused in last December's killing of a Dedido father. Jaron Wallaby and Branty Wallaby appearing before Judge John Terlahi in Superior Court today. The 2 were set for trial on March 20th, but that was vacated after both now are waiving their speedy trial rights. They are back in court on May 5th to find out what happens next with their case. Both have since pleaded not guilty to murder charges after being accused in the deadly beating of Arno Naroon. Investigators say the Wallaby brothers were apparently drunk when they allegedly attacked Naroon in Dedido. That was on December 11th of last year. Naroon died from blunt force trauma to the head.
We are learning new information about a stabbing that unfolded in front of a Mangilao store Sunday as many were winding down their weekend.
The stabbing victim telling police 2 men attacked him. Authorities are searching for the pair. Jonah Gonçalves reports.
A man runs for help, asking someone standing outside of this local store Mangilao Sunday to call police. This as a man was being chased down by 2 men known to him. The accuser allegedly telling authorities he was attacked just before 8 o'clock that night. Investigators learning the victim had been drinking beer with his alleged attackers when they suddenly began assaulting him. The suspects allegedly bragging about fights they both got into while locked up inside the Guam Department of Corrections as the attack was underway. The victim, who told officers he is homeless, recently befriended the duo after they offered to help him get a job. But the unexpected occurred Sunday night. The victim allegedly telling police one man stabbed him in the neck while the other used what appeared to be an old rusted bar to hit him on his ribs and elbow. Authorities are now searching for the alleged attackers identified as Jimmy Hadley and Brian Mathias. The pair are no strangers to law enforcement. Anyone with information is asked to call Guam Police at 671-475-8615-7 or Guam Crime Stoppers at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. Jonagan Charfris, KUAM News.
Thanks, Joan. Well, now to new developments in a case that involves two big-time drug smugglers and a former cop. Convicted drug smugglers Raymond Boya Martinez and his wife Juanita Moser Martinez now facing more charges in the District Court of Guam. A superseding indictment is filed against the couple Wednesday, charging them with conspiracy to obstruct justice by endeavoring to influence jurors and 2 counts of obstructing justice by endeavoring to influence a juror. Retired Guam police officer John Boone Metanonia is accused for his part in the conspiracy. He's being charged separately.
Court documents state the Martinezes allegedly tried to influence jurors in their drug case back in 2018 to vote not guilty, despite the feds' evidence that they attempted to smuggle more than 8 pounds of meth into the island. Boone Metanonia allegedly tried to intimidate jurors as well. The court declared a mistrial, but the couple were convicted on similar charges in California and served jail time. Both now back on Guam, set to appear again before a federal judge to answer to the new indictment on March 9th.
Well, Des, a second cruise liner is set to dock on our shores tomorrow morning, and with more to come throughout the year, it's a sign of recovery for our tourism industry.
Tourists, sailors, and cruise ship passengers and crew. That's a whole lot of visitors in recent weeks, giving a much-needed boost to Tumon. Mitsuki Hirayama takes us down to Hotel Road.
Slowly but surely, the heart of the island's tourism district is on the road to recovery. Hotels, restaurants, and shopping centers in Tumon seeing an increase in business with the recent boost in visitor arrivals. Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association President Mary Rhodes says 2023 is a prime year for the return of the island's top industry.
The first quarter so far has been really busy for the industry. We've seen an increase in our Korean tourists. Certainly in this January month, I know that GBB did announce a record number in January.
Guam Visitors Bureau reporting more than 50,000 tourist arrivals this past January, a record high since the COVID-19 pandemic hit. That's more than a 500% increase compared to the year before, with a little more than 9,000 visitor arrivals.
But we have to keep in mind that definitely compared to pre-pandemic levels, January is still only 35% of what we saw in 2020. So we're still down by 65%. Where we've seen the largest growth is really the Korean market, but also the U.S. military, because we did have a lot of military exercises.
Though the island's still not up to par from pre-pandemic levels, it's been a steady improvement with more visitors from Korea increasing revenue, like Jung-gyu Lee.
It's third time for me, and I like its nature view and also so many shopping shops and kind people.
He shares he's on his way to rent a car, then he's going shopping.
If other Koreans see this broadcasting, I strongly recommend to visit Guam.
Also amping up sales, more than 5,000 sailors and crew from military aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, like Airman Robert Morales.
I am with the Nimitz, so we just came here. We're enjoying our free time right now. Guam is really beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. Really tropical, I love it. I got a suntan.
Plus the cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, set to dock on Apra Harbor Friday morning, bringing more than 2,500 people. It's the added push the industry needs to get back on its feet.
We've always said this is going to be a slow recovery, but this is the momentum we need, especially as businesses are starting to reopen and starting to hire back employees and really provide services.
Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Wow, the crowd in Tumon really picking up.
I know.
That story.
I love it. I love to see it.
Good job with that report, Mitsuki. We're going to take a quick break.
Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Mizuru tweets, confession, I really like Jack in the Box Tiny Tacos. My crunchy tiny tacos with creamy avocado lime sauce? There's a lot to like. I have a confession too. One time, I've been advised to stop talking. Tiny tacos, get them regular or loaded.
What you need to know from the Northern Marianas. Follow KUAM CNMI on Instagram for the latest regional headlines.
Welcome back to Prime Time. Well, the CNMI Board of Education remains unorganized after several attempts to hold an organizational session.
The apparent inviting coming at a cost for students and their teachers waiting for the public school system to take action. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnya reports.
The NMI Board of Education failing to organize after repeated attempts.
This is the first time that I've encountered, and our focus as PSS is to continue the operation, make sure that the schools are open to provide services for our students.
The first meeting was set in January, and due to conflicts, it was moved to February. But at that meeting, two board members, Andrew Orsini and Herman Atalig, walked out after their motion for an executive session before holding their organizational meeting was denied by three other members.
It's stalling the whole system, and so it's really a travesty that it continues to happen. Having a quorum just to have the organizational session should not be an issue.
But Atalig tells KUAM that the board scheduled the meetings knowing that he was not available due to a medical appointment and Orsini was off island. He says his concerns continue to fall on deaf ears and an executive session is needed to discuss sensitive matters. He says they silenced our voices and took away my freedom of speech. My major issues with the officers are our lack of direction, transparency, accountability, fiscal responsibility, and communication. They are not leading, they are being led by an internal force. Orsini telling us that it's just a matter of finding the time and that the mandatory 4-person quorum for the 5 voting members of the board is the main barrier. But 3 board members voting against Orsini and Atalig paint a more complicated picture.
Member Orsini said that he wanted updates because he hadn't met since December. And then Member Atalig said that he wanted to discuss the rules, quote unquote, rules of engagement for the election. And they both wanted to discuss that in executive, which is inappropriate and against our regulations.
Board member Antonio Borja says, I do not believe any further accommodation is warranted. If anyone is owed an accommodation, it is our students, teachers, and staff that require a fully functioning board. We do not need to accommodate board members in order. Member Greg Borja says he's aware of the public outcry as a result of the board's failure. He says one issue is related to the duties and powers of board members. He tells KUAM that there is disagreement in allowing the operations to be managed solely by the Commissioner of Education. However, he says, I am willing to put aside my differences in order to meet in fashion that is respectful for all members involved. However, I am unwilling to discuss items in an executive session that are unallowable by law. The board is expected to meet on March 22nd to try again and hopefully put students first. Tomas Manglotnya, KUAM News, Saipan.
It seems freshman Senator William Parkinson is coming out of the bush for this bill, Bill number 6. The measure would end marijuana drug testing for employees. It went up for a public hearing today with some sharing why they are either in support of it or why they oppose it.
Even though employers would rather not do drug testing, many do. Why? The number one reason is because of safety. Number two, because of funding. And number three, because of liability. This bill may put hundreds of companies' insurance policies at risk, in turn putting the company's basic ability to operate at risk.
To end the pre-employment can offer an alternative to the public to seek more knowledge on this plant, as well as give an opportunity to try this organic form of relief and engage with like-minded community more openly and unafraid.
The measure comes as cannabis is now legal in the territory. Parkinson saying he wants to focus on eliminating employment barriers, adding potential employees are not required to be tested for other legal recreational drugs.
That's definitely going to bring a lot of buzz throughout the community.
Well, 35 years of mending hearts and inspiring minds. Rainbows for All Children Guam is hosting their annual 3.5 miles run walk for youth this Saturday at Guam Premier Outlets. Marie Holleran is the executive director.
It's been a challenging passion, but it really helps the children. We have helped over 25,000 children and families. So this year, it's going to be face-to-face because the last 2 years was virtual. So we're all excited because we are going to see your beautiful faces.
Rainbows is an international nonprofit peer support group for children going through life-altering crisis. The race is set for this Saturday, March 4 at GPO Theater Side. Showtime is 5:15 a.m. and go time is 6 a.m. You can pre-register now for $10 at St. Anthony Catholic School, and the day of race is $20. Don't miss it. The grand prize raffle is a United Airlines round-trip ticket, economy ticket.
Well, if that's the case, maybe we should go for the race.
I know. Well, in other news, Hyatt Regency on Saipan is joining forces with the CNMI Department of Community and Cultural Affairs all month to celebrate Chamorro and Carolinian culture and women's history. Residents and tourists can visit the hotel's lobby every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in March to view cultural displays and products for purchase made by local female artists. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today with hotel management and cultural practitioners, marking a new partnership meant to showcase indigenous talent to a global market.
Different artists, female artists who will be coming out to showcase their artworks, demonstrate to teach our tourists, and hopefully be able to sell their items while they're here. It'll be a month-long program, and I hope that we can see you all come and support our artists.
And officials are adding there are 180 registered artists under the council, and they hope to continue to bring their work to tourists. So the University of Guam draws all walks of life with its annual Charter Day. That's where our Destiny Cruz spent her day, out there taking in the sunny weather.
That's right, and there were performances, food, a celebration of sorts. But aside from the fun, Charter Day also has a deeper meaning for some we met today. Charter Day, a day of fun or something more?
I think it's not only important to other people, but also for us. So we won't lose our culture, because this generation is slowly losing of how to make a grass skirt, weave, stuff like that.
For the members of the YAP student organization at the University of Guam, the annual event is a chance to perpetuate their culture.
To help promote our cultures, yeah, that's one thing that I'm really proud of.
The group embodying this year's theme, UOG Forward, bringing their traditions with them while navigating a modern era. It's a mission of cultural preservation that local jewelry maker Xavier Borja takes pride in, the entrepreneur using Chamorro iconography in his contemporary designs.
I feel that it is more important now than ever because from early in the years we've faced experiences where we felt like our culture was dying, where we felt like we were kind of disappearing. So the fact that there's this renaissance with the Chamorro culture of the young generation trying to find a reconnection with it like I am right now, it's a really beautiful thing.
This year's 55th UOG Charter Day was a beautiful gathering indeed, one of cultural celebrations and togetherness, and this crowd together, marking the anniversary of the university's founding in 1952 and the signing of the charter that renamed the Territorial College of Guam to the University of Guam in 1968.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view captured on Saipan from Kensington Hotel in San Roque, looking out to the vast ocean there.
Certainly is paradise. Plus, with that QR code on your screen, you can enjoy these views with local music. Enjoy any time on Isla Digital Radio.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. If you feel it come around with round with round. Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you. Everybody feel it come around with everybody in the pump, pump, pump. 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 Everybody round.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
All right, my friends, welcome to sports, and it is Friars Warriors Part 5. The saga continues, and now I can consider that a tradition, and certainly the gentleman joining me in the KUAM News Zoom room right now, head coach Jimmy Yee for the Father Duenas Memorial School Friars, certainly having that. It has been now a Coach, would you consider this like a rivalry? I mean, I know what you teach your players is to have respect for your opponent no matter what and everything like that. But going on like 5th straight year in the championship, that's got to mean something special.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a rivalry for a few years now. So just grateful to be in this opportunity again. And St. Paul's always tough, always tough, always.
And it's interesting how this is the 5th one, because you guys are basically like 2-2. So this is the tiebreaker.
Is that it? I haven't even keep track. Is it 2-2?
Yeah, for championship. Well, for championship games, I mean, you guys did have their number earlier on in the season. You guys look very, very good. So building on that momentum, what are you telling the boys? And what is their confidence level and their mindset heading into the finals?
Great question. I'll see them later today. Just got to continue to work, get better, and confidence-wise, just keep them humbled at the same time. However, yes, just gotta stay focused on the game, which is just Friday night. So just got 48 hours to stay focused, just tweak some stuff, and then yeah, Friday night, it could be anyone's game. St. Paul's always tough, and they're gonna come ready to play.
Mm-hmm. What do you say now for the players, and like especially the senior class and the ones that have been here before, and they realize that the legacy that they're leaving at FD, and you just look up in the rafters and you see like all those great FD players, and the Chris Fernandezes and the Willie Stinets and the ones that have had their numbers retired, and say you're adding to this history and everything, to just say play your game, but also realize that the tradition you're part of.
Right. Yes, definitely agree. We play our game, and got to play with a lot of pride and a lot of heart, because all those banners and those names you just mentioned, it's a lot of heart, a lot of pride. Mm-hmm. So we just got to give everything we have. The quote for this week will probably be no regrets. Just leave everything out and just play your hearts out.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of respect, and you've already made made the point, you have a lot of admiration for the St. Paul's program, the team year after year and everything. What do you see in their game that you really admire?
Oh, they never give up. I mean, well coached by Julian and the players they have, and they fight. They will always continue to fight, no matter what the score is. And they play for 32 minutes, high energy, high octane, fast, and don't back down attitude, which is awesome, right? That's just great. Like, so that's what makes them so tough. So we respect that from every aspect of the game.
Okay, I'm gonna give you like the easiest question like in the world in a sports interview. I'm gonna say, what final words do you have as the head coach of the FD program to get, Friar Nation alumni, student body, friends, family, supporters to come out? I mean, FD always shows up, like in droves and everything like that. But what is Coach Jimmy Yee's, final push to get people to go out there and cheer their beloved Friars?
They're all coming. No, they're all coming, man. They're all coming. The game, I believe the game is at FD as well, so that gives a lot more pride there as well. So we got to protect our house, and alumni, I know they're all coming, man. They know, and we look forward to seeing all of them out there.
St. Paul shows up really, really well too, and they're loud. Yeah.
Oh, yes. St. Paul's will show up. There's a lot of pride on that side as well, so we respect them very much.
All right, it's going to be an amazing game. So head coach Jimmy Yee, we'll talk to you after the game, but best of luck to you, coach, and best of luck to the boys.
Yes, thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
We knew it was time to make these when we started asking things like, wouldn't it be nice to be able to get a warm cinnamon roll right now? And why can't this kind of muffin come from the same place as a McMuffin? And isn't your coffee lonely without company from a glazed apple fritter? Well, consider these our 3 resounding yeses. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Welcome back. KUAM is celebrating Mes Chamorro with our new weekly series, Rooted. We bring you a look at our island sports and the origins of different customs in our culture, the history of our traditions, as well as our language.
That's right. To kick things off, our Mitsuki Hirayama learns about the history of the Inafresi from Dr. Michael Bavacqua.
Mes Chamorro, Rooted.
ITD is proud to support Mes Chamorro 2023.
The Inafresi. It's a poem, a pledge, and its recitation often comes at the beginning of many ceremonies. The words are a promise to protect and defend the Chamorro culture, language, and land. It has become a grand tradition of our island, but it's actually not as old as you think. Dr. Mike Bavacqua explains.
Hi, Dr. Bavacqua. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, Tatsuba, no problem. The Inafresi is very important because children on Guam recite the Inafresi regularly throughout school, but sometimes people just say it, but they don't understand what it means, and therefore it's hard for them to feel it. But the Inafresi is really a beautiful sort of thing. It's something which all children are taught to sort of remind them about what is precious about our island and how we should protect it and preserve it so that we can keep our island home special. Good. So from the heights of my mind, right? So it's important that the beginning of the Inafresi starts off with all of our powers and our facilities as human beings. So one, the mind is the most important thing. From the depths of my heart, right? So our compassion, our ability to feel, our empathy is also critical. And then the strength, the power of our ability. And so that's important, these 3 things, right? It's not just the strength of arms, it's not just sort of your mind, it's not just your compassion, but all 3 of them together. The Inafresi starts off with talking about the abilities and the power that each of us have as individuals. I make this promise that I will protect, then defendi, and I will defend, I will protect and defend. So this is what's important, and this is one reason why I like the Inafresi versus the American Pledge of Allegiance. Is in the American Pledge of Allegiance, you're pledging yourself to a nation, one republic, indivisible, under God, all sorts of stuff like that. In this Inafresi, in this pledge, you're talking about how I'm going to pledge myself to protect these things that make life possible. And so the next 6 things are those things.
Ihinengi, ikotura, ilengwahi, iairi, ihanam, sanitano chamorro.
Very good. 6 basic things that make life possible and make life sustainable. And so hinengi is your beliefs, kotura is your culture, lengwahi is your language, and then iairi is the air, ihanam is the water, and itano is the land. And so in the Inafresi, you are pledging that you will protect these things that make Guam special, these things that make Guam home.
This is the part where I always stumble. Chanku, diletsu, ginen azul tata.
So my inheritance, sort of this is my inheritance directly from God. This is what is mine directly from God.
Esti hua fitma, kihilu I Biblia, Sani banderahu, I banderan gohan.
So I pledge this on the Bible, Gihilui Biblia, and under the flag, our flag, the flag of Guam.
Thank you so much for your words, Dr. Babakla.
Hagomas, hagomas.
Mesh Tomorrow, rooted.
ITD is proud to support Mesh Tomorrow 2023.
Bravo, Metsuki.
I know. Great job, Suki.
Now time for your birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
It's Thursday, everybody, so that means it is the 2nd day of the 3rd month of 2023, March 2nd. Happy birthday wishes going out to Kayla Sasaki. And this is a very specific birthday shout-out, all right? So follow me here. Stay with me. Birthday wishes, they say, from about exactly 6,461 miles away. I am loving the precision on this. Also says, we wish you all the joy you can have and many blessings to you in the days to come with all the love in the world from a very, very proud and loving Kinata family. Wonderful. That's one of the best birthday shout outs I've read so far this year. Kayla, we, your island family, wish you a very, very happy birthday, and we hope you have a beautiful day.
Viva cumpleaños!
Viva!
Estegui Izan Mizu Primetime Show. Si tu smaasi put in ega, Guahusinik Delgado.
Sa Guahusi Destiny Cruz, Nafan Safu Hamzu Zagosa, Ipuani.